May 2026 meeting of the Paducah Independent Board of Education to order. Madam Secretary, would you call the roll, please?
Sure. Ms. Hancock. Here. Ms. Howard. Here. Dr. Levine.
Here. Have we established a quorum?
Yes.
And if everyone would, do we have a motion to approve the agenda for tonight with one additional item? This will be 4.19 under the consent agenda, and that is in reference to our district calendar for next year. Is there a motion to approve tonight's agenda with the added items?
I'll make a motion to approve tonight's agenda with the additional item.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Call the roll, please.
Ms. Hancock?
Yes.
Ms. Howard?
Yes.
Dr. Levine?
Yes. And everyone would please rise. Ms. Hernandez, would you please lead us in the pledge?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So we two board members had to be absent tonight for family-related reasons, so we are lower than usual. But we are going to go ahead and move on to item 2.1, which is our recognitions. And if I could call Tami, excuse me. Yes, or we could do that later. Unfortunately, actually, before we get into our business, we had a member of our district pass away this past week. Mary Mackey worked in our food service department for 4 years, serving at both McNabb and more recently at Paducah Head Start. She was known by the staff and other people throughout the districts for her enthusiasm for life. She loved serving our students. She worked alongside her friends. We're honored to have her family with us here this evening. And we wanted to, there's a picture of Ms. Mary Mackey up on the screen. And if we could all just take a moment in silence and pause to remember her and the service that she, and the life that she led. Thank you. It's always hard to move on to business after that, and there's a lot of people that serve our district every day and serve our students every day. And Mary Mackey did that with enthusiasm and with a lot of hard work for many years. And I think some of her family may be here tonight as well. And our thoughts are with you as you work through all of this together. The first item on our agenda is item 2.1, and this is Tami Snyder. She can come forward. And I believe she has...
Several people.
Yeah, good.
Miss Liberty, I've got Miss Williams, Mr. Hines, Miss Zoe. Miss Liberty, you want to come on a minute? All right, so we have some exciting news. Miss Liberty, come on up here. We have some exciting news at Morgan. Miss Liberty Guyette is our current music teacher. It is her very first year at Morgan Elementary, and she has already been named the KMEA Elementary Music Teacher of the Year. Morgan her first placement here as far as teaching goes. She is doing a phenomenal job. She is making the kids fall in love with music, and it shows for sure. So I've got a couple people here who kind of shaped her along the way, and they have a few things they would like to share with you about Miss Liberty. And then I have one of our students who actually this year, when the Poetry Club, wrote a poem about Miss Liberty. So she's going to kind of finish us off. So Miss Williams.
My name's Lindsay Williams. I was the band director at Paducah Middle for 19 years, and so Liberty was one of my band students for 3 years, and they continued band all the way through high school. And now it's so amazing to see your student become what you are, which is a music teacher, and I teach at McNabb now, and still doing music. So the first thing I like to say on my behalf, on your behalf, is I knew Liberty was so special when I first started her on a saxophone in middle school in 6th grade. And Liberty was an amazing leader from a very young age. And she also participated in Locks of Love Club with me, which I'll never forget because we all had the same like sad little haircut that we got when they chopped our ponytails off. But he was such a trooper. Mr. James Gregory was Liberty's band director in high school, and he is at Trigg County now teaching band, but he wrote some words that I'm going to read on his behalf because he has his spring concert tonight at Trigg. So, Mr. Gregory says to you, "It is my honor and privilege to recognize an outstanding young educator on being named 1st District KMEA Elementary School Music Teacher of the Year. And this award would be impressive at any stage of her career, but what makes it even more special is Liberty has earned this recognition after only your first year of teaching." So Mr. Gregory has many paragraphs. We love him. I'm going to save some of those little gems and jewels for Liberty to read, and I'll finish with Liberty. Your passion, your hard work, and commitment to your students have already made a lasting impression. That's so true. And this recognition is richly deserved. I, along with Ms. Williams and Mr. Lowe, could not be prouder of the educator and person you have become. And I know this is only the beginning of a long and successful career.
Matt Hines, Choir Director at Tillman High School, and Liberty was special to us because she was one of the students that embodies what our music department should be, and that's a student that can go both ways and do all the things that we offer. She was a band student, she was a choral student. Did you ever do orchestra? 1 year. 1 year. She did it 1 year though.
Still play the cello? I heard it the other day.
Well, here's the cool thing about what Liberty can do. Liberty, yes, she was a saxophone player, but she would pick up just about any instrument and learn to play it. If she didn't know how to play it, she'd pick it up. This is what makes her such a great elementary school teacher. And she and I talked about this when she was still in high school, what she wanted to do with her life. And elementary school was one of the things that she did mention. And I knew, because of her background, because of all the things that she was involved in, because of the things that our music department was able to allow her to do, that she would be a great educator, especially in an elementary school, because she could teach these kids all these different things. She wasn't just a singer, she wasn't just an instrumentalist, she was everything. She embodies music altogether. And that's what made me so proud of her. And she was a leader for me. She was in Concordia, she was an all-state singer. She went on to Murray State and became the leader of Racer Band. The girl is a jack of many trades and good at all of them, and very good at all of them. And we're very lucky to have her. And Tami would come and talk to me, and other teachers at Morgan would come and say, like, "Hey, your girl, your girl." And I'm like, well, I claim her as mine. I know she's a whole bunch of ours, but to see her succeed like this, I was happy to claim her as mine. And all I heard was praises about what a colleague she was, what a great music teacher she was. And again, to restate the fact that as a first-year teacher, that she was teaching at a level of what so many teachers would like to teach at as a veteran. And that's what makes her special. And we are so proud of you and proud to have you in our district. And couldn't say enough nice things.
So what he's saying is exactly correct. She has just come in and jumped in, has expanded the Christmas concert, has kind of changed up a little bit of our drama department too. Like, she's got that as well. And our play was very successful, and we're just super impressed. She amazes me every time I go in there. Like I said, last time I was in there, she played the cello. So anyways, but nobody can really kind of sum up anything better than a student. So I have one of our 5th grade students here tonight, Zoe Day. She is a part of Mr. J's Poetry Club. You probably remember when she was here for that. But her poem that she read at the Poetry Slam, one of them was actually dedicated to Miss Liberty. So I asked her to come read that to her, and then we will end this, this way. But thank you, students.
Miss Liberty by Zoe Day. I'm in no rush to say I'm gonna miss you, Miss Liberty. You're one of the best teachers in the school, even though it's your first year. I hate to say goodbye. You might cry, and that's fine. It's hard to say goodbye. I love your teaching skills, though sometimes they leave me chills. And you may be the first to make me cry, just to say goodbye. Thank you.
Can't say much or I'll just like cry. But this year has been absolutely fantastic. I've learned absolutely so much, not about anything I thought I'd learn, but nonetheless, I cannot put, I guess I really can't put it into words, but I'm so thankful that I'm here, and I wouldn't have it any other way. So, thank you so much.
Liberty graduated with my son Ben, and he played the saxophone too. Not to the degree that she played the saxophone, but it was always fun. There was a woman in the stands who would try and get Ben and jazz fans to move a little more. So she was always looking at him and pointing him out, and you could look down there and you'd see a little bit of this. And you could see Liberty, and you saw a lot of that. A lot of emotion, a lot of enthusiasm, and it's great to have her here as a part of our district. So thank you and congratulations. And Ms. Ann Bidwell is the next item on our agenda, and she has an announcement regarding the Whitlow Commitment to Excellence Awards.
Yes, thank you. I'm Ann Bidwell. I'm the Director of Human Resources and District-Wide Communication. And I have, a very fun task this time of year to announce the board's recognition annually for one certified and one classified employee in our district who has gone above and beyond. Before I make those announcements and read a little bit of why they are being recognized this year, I want to just remind everybody what the Whitlow Commitment to Excellence Awards is all about. Mark Whitlow served as our board attorney from 2000 to 2015, stepping in after his father, Mr. Henry Whitlow, retired. Mark and his father had served Paducah Public Schools as board attorney from 1953 to 2015. Mark volunteered more than 20 years of service to help lead Tillman's mock trial team. He continues to serve on the Paducah Public Schools Foundation Board. Mark is a 1970 graduate and valedictorian of Paducah Tillman High School. He graduated from Emory University in 1974 and obtained his law degree from the University of Virginia in 1977. Mr. Whitlow has been recognized for his outstanding accomplishments by being elected to the Paducah Tillman High School Hall of Fame. And you can see this picture right outside the cafeteria. To further recognize his and his family's dedication and service to Paducah Public Schools, we annually recognize employees who showed the same dedication and service to the district with the Whitlow Commitment to Excellence Awards. So first, we want to get our awardees down here so that you can see their smiling, charming faces as they hear the wonderful things about them. So if I might call down our classified employee who's being recognized this year, Mr. Monte Hensley from McNabb. We try to keep this a big surprise. So I don't, did we succeed? So hopefully we are 2 for 2. Our certified employee who's being recognized recognized is Mrs. Amber Sanderson from Paducah Tillman High School. I'd like to also thank her team, which is multifold, for bringing her here tonight. As you might expect, both of these wonderful employees are so selfless that I'm sure, I don't want to speak out of turn, but we were a little worried that if they had known they were being recognized, they might not show up. So we're very thrilled to have them here today. Let me start with some comments. Both of our nominees awardees had multiple nominations. Excuse that earring falling, I don't know what that's about. The show must go on. So, yes, for Mr. Monte, he is the instructional assistant, one of the instructional assistants at McNabb Elementary. He's also the school technology coordinator, but he does a lot of other things, as our other colleagues have pointed out. One of the quotes here says, for years he's been behind every dance, fall festival, parent event, and sport we have at McNabb Elementary. I've personally seen him turn kids around when he sees they're walking down a path they don't need to. And he talks to them from a place of experience and care. This was the committee's favorite quote, I think. He doesn't ask for anything in return, but he deserves everything we can give him. Every school needs a Mr. Monte, but they can't have ours. So many things here for Mrs. Sanderson as well. Mrs. Sanderson, as we mentioned, teaches at Paducah Tillman High School, and again, many nominations. Mrs. Sanderson has worked hard as the sole educator, caring and educating for the entire class of students by herself since September. She's risen to the challenge and continues to go above and beyond for Paducah Tillman High School. This person who wrote this about you goes on to say, sometimes education gets looked at for the test scores and results reported, but in this day and age, an educator, coworker, friend like Mrs. Sanderson brings light to the darkest of days. So, ladies and gentlemen, your Whitlow awardees.
Next item on the agenda is item 2.3, and this is an opportunity to recognize Angelique Hernandez. If you want to come on up here and join me up here. Angelique is a senior at Paducah Tillman High School, no longer, because she graduated on Saturday. So she's now a graduate of Paducah Tillman High School. Angelique has done many wonderful things. Fantastic artist, fantastic student. To name two that I'm aware of, and I couldn't list all your accomplishments, but she attended the Governor's Scholar for the Arts, and she was also a nominee for the Distinguished Student Award at Paducah Tillman High School, and the list goes on. Also, Angelique has been one of our student board representatives for this past year. She took on this responsibility and with a lot of energy. She met with many different students. She was always willing to speak openly and honestly and provide suggestions to the Board of Education and help us as we try and continue work to help meet every student's name and know every student by name and to meet their need. Shonda Hollowell, who could not be here for family-related reasons tonight, worked with the student board members throughout the year and has glowing comments regarding Angelique's service. And Dr. Felix, Akojie, one of our board members who couldn't be here tonight, actually helped spearhead the institution of this program, which I can just say has been wonderful for us over the past 6 years or so, having student board members. And we'll have 2 more next year to follow in Angelique and Bolshire's footsteps. So this is a certificate indicating your accomplishment. for the Paducah, as a student representative for the Paducah Board of Education, and that comes with a check also, and you'll have to see Lisa about that. That'll be yours.
Feel free to speak if you want.
The next item on our agenda, if we could call Erin Bay forward. She's art teacher at McNabb Elementary. And
I'm Erin Bay. I'm the art teacher at McNabb. This is my first year as the art teacher, and I brought with me 2 students, Cameron Clemens and Ava Spann. They were both participants in our 5th grade quilt project. This is the 3rd year that we've made a 5th grade quilt, so it's become a tradition at McNabb. This is the first year that we've done this cyanotype process, and I'm actually going to turn it over to the students to explain to you how we made this quilt.
So today we have our cyanotype quilt, and what we did to make it, we had to take our photos and then we had to invert them to, excuse me, I have to remember, to make our transparency photos a negative.
So we actually brought Cameron's negative with us because it was really a new process for us. Most of our kids know about digital photography, but to explain to them how old photos were printed using chemicals in dark rooms is kind of hard. And Cam was the only one who said, "Is that in the movies where they have that room with the red light?" And I'm like, yes. Yes, that's it. So we had to create negatives, and we had to explain that our negatives are going to look crazy because it's the inverted process where black is white and white is black. So your teeth are going to be black, but don't worry, they will print white. Okay, do you want to take back over and tell them how we printed it?
Using the sun. Using the sun, we printed the negatives onto the light-sensitive fabric, and we had to press glass onto it to make sure that it was secure. And after we did that, we had to soak it in water to.
What color was it when we started?
It was green.
Okay, and how come we washed it?
It was blue.
Okay, and what happened with the parts that were blocked by the transparency?
It reflected, well, not reflected. It protected.
We washed it all out. Anything that wasn't exposed, we washed out. Anything that wasn't exposed, we washed out. Okay? Do you want to let, yeah, you're good. Do you want to let Ava talk about some of the images that we had in our quilt? Okay, Ava's going to talk about some of the images that we had in our quilt, because we have a lot of different images.
Well, most of the images are the students and what they love on their photos. And this is the transparency of what's in the middle of the quilt for McNabb Elementary School.
And how did we choose those?
Well, the students, they said what they wanted and like if they could like get it.
So we made a list.
A list of what they wanted, and we also got to draw on it to like show what we wanted, like our names and all that stuff.
So Cam actually drew on hers. She chose, we could choose from images, but you could also, anything that blocks the light would work to protect the fabric from being exposed. So some of the students chose to draw on their negatives or use a combination of both the pre-printed images and their drawings. So each block is unique and personal to each of the students and really lets the personality of each of our students shine. What I love about this is that you can really see You can really see the personality of each of our students in the quilt because it's not a school photo. They got to take the photo however they wanted as long as it was appropriate, and it allows each of them to be themselves.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I think you ought to ask the Quilt Museum if they need that for a month.
Oh, I did contact Bonnie Schrock today, and I sent her a picture because last year Miss Bay and I did a project with the Quilt Museum. And so we have gotten to know Bonnie quite well, and I did send it to her today and shared it with her.
Good. I think it's wonderful, and I think everybody else in this room thinks it's wonderful too. Thank you for taking the time to come and show us the quilt, explain the process, and thank you most of all for bringing a couple of students along with you. It's really special to have them join you.
Thank you.
We like seeing you, Erin, but we like seeing your students.
I love when they do the talking.
Thank you very much. I think that's all of our special recognitions for tonight, unless I'm missing something. We'll move on to item 3.0. This is an opportunity to hear from groups or oral communications from the audience regarding items that are included on tonight's agenda. Come on down. Feel free to tell us your name and the floor is yours. We usually have people speak for a couple of minutes, and if they want, if they choose to, and then if we'll get back to you. Usually don't respond tonight, but we'll get back to you later.
And thank you. My name is Jeremy Buckus, and actually, I know I only have about 2 minutes, so I have my notes typed out, so I'll be
It's not a hard stop. You tell us what you want to say.
yeah, and again, I don't want to be long-winded. This isn't anything major, but something I think the board should be aware of. So I'm going to read this verbatim, it sounds like that's what I'm doing, so sure. Good evening. Thank you to the board for allowing me to speak tonight. Again, my name is Jeremy Buckus, and my family and I are connected to Clark Elementary, where my oldest daughter is in 2nd grade. My wife currently serves on the school-based decision-making council, and we truly appreciate the teachers and staff and the work that they do for the students each day. Actually seeing one of the Clark administrators there. Shout out to you. Thank you. But as the school year is ending, I'd like the board to take a look at ways to make the morning drop-off process a little more efficient and safer for next school year. I don't know if that's come up before in previous meetings, but it's kind of become a nightmare. So I've spoken with other parents and the school resource officer about concerns regarding traffic on Buckner Lane in front of Clark Elementary before school begins. Much of the congestion and unsafe activity happens before 7:30 a.m. before staff members are available outside assisting with the flow of traffic and student safety. Some parents are stopping along Buckner Lane in front of Clark where and whenever they like. Children are crossing in between vehicles outside of the designated crosswalk. Drivers are making unsafe maneuvers such as U-turns, blocking traffic, and cutting around vehicles in the drop-off line. These conditions create safety concerns for students, parents, and staff. I understand that the school may face staffing challenges. I'm the executive director for Paducah Area Transit, so I totally understand the staffing challenges that schools and everyone in this community faces. But I believe that the board should review the morning drop-off procedures at Clark and potentially all other elementary schools in the district and identify solutions that improve both safety and efficiency. So, again, this isn't about the staff. We love the staff at Clark. We love the school, and we're very involved. But I think we should be proactive instead of being reactive. Unfortunately, someone's going to get hit. And if there's no one out there controlling the flow of traffic or assisting cars as they're dropping off students in the morning, I think the damage could be major. So I think the board should look at that. And again, with the school year ending, I don't expect anything to happen this week, but that gives us time to prepare. So again, we don't want to see anything bad happen to any of the students or parents or vehicles. So again, this is something I wanted to bring to the board.
Thank you very much for coming. Could I ask if you mentioned a couple of things, observations about things that you see that are happening that aren't safe.
Yes.
But if you could, it sounds like you've been very observant of those things. If you could get a list of those things together, I think that will help in the examination process of you know, what problems we need to solve, you know, kind of what things you've seen. And if you are aware of those through your role and your job at some of our other schools as well, feel free to point out the things that you've observed, because we will take it seriously and we'll examine with, you know, our administrators will work to try and help.
Okay. Thank you.
Improve the process. Thank you. Is there anyone else here who is here to make comments regarding items that are included on tonight's agenda? I'll also open the floor for oral communications from the audience regarding items which are not included on tonight's agenda. So basically, if you're here and you want to say something, now's your opportunity to do so. Okay. Hearing none, we'll move on to the item 4.0 consent agenda. Is there a motion from the board to approve tonight's consent agenda with the additional item of 4.19 that was discussed earlier?
I'll make a motion we approve tonight's consent agenda with the addition of 4.19.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Are there any questions from the board? Call the roll, please.
Ms. Hancock?
Yes.
Ms. Howard?
Yes.
Dr. Levine?
Yes. Item 5.1, tentative budget. The superintendent recommends that the Paducah Board of Education approve the tentative budget for 2026-2027 and authorize the administration to forward such budget document to the Kentucky Department of Education. Is there a motion to approve item 5.1?
I'll make a motion to approve item 5.1 for the tentative budget.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any questions from the board? Call the roll, please.
Ms. Hancock?
Yes.
Ms. Howard?
Yes.
Dr. Levine?
Yes. Item 5.2, audit. The superintendent recommends that the Paducah Board of Education approve the fiscal year 25 audit as prepared by Kemper CPA Group LLC. Is there a motion to approve item 5.2?
I'll make a motion we approve item 5.2.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Are there any questions from the board? Comments from the superintendent?
Ms. Copeland, is there anything you want to share?
There's a few recommendations in there, none of them major. They were all kind of revolving around the same process, I think. And
Student activities, I believe, would be the area to focus in on, and that's, talked about that today, but our red book that governs that is changing yet again.
Yes, it
So
will
what
change
is-
as of fiscal year 27 or 26. Yeah, 27, fiscal 27. So we'll be having training on that, and that was a lot of what our comments were about, was school activity events. So
we can just continue to improve our processes around that.
and we've already had meetings with the principals and bookkeepers regarding those comments. So.
Sounds good. Any questions from the board? Call the roll, please.
Ms. Hancock?
Yes.
Ms. Howard?
Yes.
Dr. Levine?
Yes. Item 5.3, amendment to board policy, second reading. The superintendent recommends that the Board of Education receive for second reading to approve the proposed changes to the policy manual of Paducah Independent Schools. This is board policy 1.1, legal status of the board, election of student board representatives. Is there a motion to approve item 5.3?
I'll make a motion to approve item 5.3 for the amendment to board policy, second reading.
Is there a second?
Second.
Are there any questions from the board? Call the roll, please.
Ms. Hancock?
Yes.
Ms. Howard?
Yes.
Dr. Levine?
Yes. Item 5.4, contract termination, district-wide guaranteed energy savings project, BG 22-155. The superintendent recommends approval of the GESC contract termination agreement for the yearly consultant report. So a motion to approve 5.4.
I'll make a motion we approve item 5.4, contract termination of the GESC contract termination agreement.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Dr. Shiloh, did you?
Yes, this is, sounds a little weird, this is the way we gotta go about it. It was roughly $22,000 to $23,000, maybe a little bit more than that, to have the group look at our utility bills and say, yes, we're having a guaranteed savings, and so we're confident we can execute that on our end through the utility bills, plus looking at the savings return. So it's not canceling the whole energy savings, we're just canceling and monitoring that for us. So we felt like that's the way we could save money. put towards kids and staff.
Any other questions from the board? Any questions from the board? Call the roll, please.
Ms. Hancock?
Yes.
Ms. Howard?
Yes.
Dr. Libby?
Yes. Item 5.5, change order Tillman Softball Complex, BG 25-157. The superintendent recommends that the Paducah Board of Education approve change order number 4 for the Paducah Tillman Softball Complex project for modifications to the exterior lighting at the concessions in the amount of $2,000.55. Motion to approve item 5.5.
I'll make a motion to approve item 5.5 for the change orders, order for the Tillman softball complex.
And I'll second.
Any questions from the board? Call the roll, please.
Ms. Hancock?
Yes.
Ms. Howard?
Yes.
Dr. Libby?
Yes. Item 5.6, payments to contractors. Tillman Softball Project BG 25-157. The superintendent recommends that the Paducah Board of Education approve payments to contractors on the Tillman Softball Complex. So the payment to BFW for $165 and pay application number 10 to A&K Construction for $9,871.46. Is there a motion to approve item 5.6?
I'll make a motion to approve item 5.6, payments to contractors for the Tillman softball complex.
There's a second.
I'll second.
Any questions from the board? Call the roll, please.
Ms. Hancock?
Yes.
Ms. Howard?
Yes.
Dr. Libby?
Yes. You know, this rhythm of only 5-3 votes
I
kind
know,
of throws me off a little bit. It's kind of hard. Item 5.7, payment to contractors, Forest Hills Solar Project, BG 25-284. The superintendent recommends that the Paducah Board of Education approve payments to contractors for the Forest Hills Solar Project, which is pay application number 1 in the amount of $171,465. Is there a motion to approve item 5.7?
I'll make a motion to approve item 5.7, payment to contractors for the Forest Hills Solar Project.
And I will second.
Are there any questions from the board? Call the roll, please.
Ms. Hancock?
Yes.
Ms. Howard?
Yes.
Dr. Libby?
Yes. Item 5.8, payment to contractors, Forest Hills Demolition, BG 26-298. The superintendent recommends that the Paducah Board of Education approve payments to contractors for the Forest Hills Demolition Project as pay application number 1 in the amount of $134,250. Is there a motion to approve item 5.8?
I'll make a motion we approve item 5.8, payment to contractors for the Forest Hills demolition.
Second.
Any questions from the board? Call the roll, please.
Ms. Hancock?
Yes.
Ms. Howard?
Yes.
Dr. Libby?
Yes. Item 5.9, initial BG1 Tillman Culinary Arts Lab renovation, BG 26-365. The superintendent recommends that the Paducah Board of Education approve the initial BG1 document for the Tillman Culinary Lab renovation project. Is there a motion to approve item 5.9?
I'll make a motion to approve item 5.9 for the initial document for the Tillman Culinary Arts Lab renovation.
And I will second.
Does this first one include the oven?
We actually have the oven. It's upgrading the first phase will be upgrading the gas. We have gas stoves, which it's not set up for gas stoves. So getting this in the 21st century is what we're having to do for 1956. So wish we could go faster, but taking advantage of some state grant money that allows us to do this.
Any questions from the board? Call the roll, please.
Ms. Hancock?
Yes.
Ms. Howard?
Yes.
Dr. Libby?
Yes. Item 5.10, contract Tillman Culinary Lab renovation, BG 26-365. The superintendent recommends that the Paducah Board of Education approve the A141 design build contract for the Tillman Culinary Lab renovation to Ascendant Facilities Partner in the amount of $260,000. So a motion to approve item 5.10.
I'll approve item 5.10, the contract for the Tillman Culinary Lab renovation design build contract.
Is there a second? Any questions from the board? Call the roll, please.
Ms. Hancock?
Yes.
Ms. Howard?
Yes.
Dr. Libby?
Yes. Item 5.11, payments to contractors, Tillman Fieldhouse renovation project, BG 22-067. The superintendent recommends that the Paducah Board of Education approve payments to contractors on the Paducah Tillman Fieldhouse renovation project. This is pay application number 11 to Everard Construction, the amount of $6,624.62. Is there a motion to approve item 5.11?
I'll make a motion to approve item 5.11, payments to contractors for the field house renovation
please.
Ms. Hancock? Yes. Ms. Howard?
Yes.
Dr. Levine?
Yes. Item 5.12, auditor's contract. The superintendent recommends that the Paducah Board of Education accept the contract for the district's independent accounting firm as recommended by Angelique. Is there a motion to approve item 5.12?
I'll make a motion, we approve item 5.12, auditor's contract.
I'll second.
Angela, you want to let us know what?
Yes, we had to do bids for the audit this year because Kimber CPA is no longer going to do school board audits. And there is actually no one in Paducah, there is no CPA firm in Paducah that do school board audits anymore. So I had to do an RFP, and the firm that came in was Carr, Riggs, and Ingram. They are out of Bowling Green. So that's who we have our contracting with.
Any other questions from the board? Call the roll, please.
Ms. Hancock? Yes. Ms. Howard?
Yes.
Dr. Levine?
Yes. And we have reason to go into executive
Yep.
session regarding personnel. Sorry,
Oh,
there's one more.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I was supposed to read this.
That's okay.
Yeah.
She
no, I'll do
explained
it.
it. Yeah.
No, she explained it, but
Yeah.
let's back up before let's cancel that last vote for just a second. Just the superintendent recommends that the Paducah Board of Education appoint Carr, Riggs, and Ingram as the district's independent audit firm for fiscal year 25-26 to audit the financials for fiscal year 25-26 at an auditing cost not to exceed $52,500. Additional costs associated with bookkeeping review or board configuration, if necessary, will be billed separately at a rate that was presented in the proposal. So I should have read that part first before we talk about accepting the auditor's contract, but I think Ms. Copeland explained who they are. Are there any additional questions from the board after reading the superintendent's recommendation? Okay, would you recall the roll? There's been a motion and a second regarding this already, so we'll
Ms.
let the roll.
Hancock? Yes. Ms. Howard?
Yes.
Dr. Levine?
Yes.
Thank you.
And then lastly, do we have need for executive session?
No, we do not, but can I make one thing just for our employees in here? Can I back up to 5.1?
Sure.
Just, we got a rhythm going, which is great. In the tentative budget, we have a 2% raise for certified and classified in this budget. So I just want to bring that to your all's attention. Excited to be able to say that's where we are, and that would be 6th straight year that we've gone 2 or higher percentage on our salary scale. There's some years that we added the 27th and 29th pay steps, so there's some differences later in the scale. We were also 23 is when finance went into get the equal percent jumps between scales, and so 0 year, rate 3, 0 year, we got 2%, but everybody else in the scale saw somewhere between 2 and 9.6%, and then you go back to 21, 22, and 3.5%. So excited to do this for the 6th year in a row and have that in the budget. But thank you all. But no executive session, unless you want to go.
We don't have any board members need for executive session, no. And then the last item on our agenda is open discussion. Are there any items tonight for open discussion? Hearing none, is there a motion for adjournment?
I'll make a motion for adjournment.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Call the roll, please.
Ms. Hancock? Yes. Ms. Howard?
Yes.
Dr. Levine?
Yes. Thank you for coming, everyone.